Imagine buying your dream home, a big, beautiful house in a quiet, idyllic neighborhood, the kind of place you picture yourself raising your kids, growing old, and living peacefully. But what if, the moment you move in, someone starts watching you, studying every move you make, and sending you terrifying, anonymous letters? This isn't a movie plot. This is the true story of the Watcher, a chilling mystery that still haunts one New Jersey family to this day. In June of 2014, Derek and Maria Broadus purchased what they thought was their forever home, 657 Boulevard in the charming town of Westfield, New Jersey. It was perfect, with 6 bedrooms, a sprawling yard, and a spot in a friendly, tight-knit community. It was everything they had ever wanted. They poured their life savings into the purchase, excited to move in with their 3 young children and begin the next chapter of their lives. But before they could even finish unpacking their boxes, something completely unexpected and deeply unsettling arrived in their mailbox. It was a letter, thick and white, with no return address. The envelope was simply addressed to the new owner. At first, Derek assumed it was a friendly welcome note from a neighbor. But as his eyes scanned the handwritten lines, a cold sense of dread washed over him. The letter began, "Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. So far, so normal." But then it took a dark turn. 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now. And as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. The writer claimed a generational duty to observe the house. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s. My father watched in the 1960s. Now it is my time. Then came the line that turned their dream into a living nightmare. "Have you found out what's in the walls yet? I see that you have children. I will call them by name once I learn them." Derek froze, the letter trembling in his hand. Someone was actively watching their family, and they knew details like the fact they had 3 kids that only a nearby observer could possibly know. Panicked, the Broaduses immediately contacted the police. The officers advised them not to share the letter with their new neighbors, pointing out that, in a situation like this, anyone could be a suspect. The family held their breath, hoping it was a one-time prank. But then, a second letter arrived. "Welcome again to your new home at 657 Boulevard." It read, "You have filled it with young blood. Have they played in the basement yet? Or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be. It is far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream." Their beautiful dream home had become a source of unimaginable terror. The couple made a difficult decision. They refused to move their children into the house. They hired private investigators, installed security cameras, and cautiously asked neighbors if they had seen or heard anything unusual. But every inquiry came up empty. No one knew anything. Over the next few weeks, the letters kept coming. Each one was stranger, darker, and more personal than the last. "Who am I?" one taunted. "There are hundreds and hundreds of cars that drive by 657 Boulevard each day. Maybe I am in one. Look out any of the windows you can see from. Maybe I am in one." The writer seemed completely obsessed, not just with the family, but with the house itself. It was as if 657 Boulevard was a living entity, and the Watcher was its self-appointed, menacing guardian. The Broaduses became prisoners of their own fear, trapped in a psychological nightmare. Selling the home proved nearly impossible. The chilling story scared away potential buyers. To make matters worse, the community they had hoped to join began to turn on them. Some whispered that the family had fabricated the letters themselves, perhaps for attention or to get out of the purchase, but no evidence ever supported these cruel accusations. The police investigation continued. but it felt like chasing a ghost. They questioned neighbors, exploring every possible lead. One woman confessed her husband was strangely obsessed with the house. Another family admitted their adult son had a history of writing weird things for fun. But every time they got close, the trail went cold. The letters were analyzed. It yielded no fingerprints, no usable DNA, and no camera ever caught the person dropping them off. Years later, the story was adapted by Netflix into a popular series, which brought the terrifying mystery back into the public eye. But the identity of the real watcher remains completely unknown. Some theories point to a disturbed neighbor, suffering from a mental health issue. Others suggest it was an elaborate hoax orchestrated by the previous owners, and a few even whisper about something more supernatural, a curse attached to the very foundation of the house itself. In the end, the Broaddus family sold the house at a massive financial loss and moved far away, hoping to leave the nightmare behind them. To this day, no one knows who the watcher really was, or why they became so fixated on 657 Boulevard. But one thing is terrifyingly certain: sometimes, the house of your dreams can become the setting of your worst nightmare. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as unsettling as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Stay safe out there.